All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. The final numbers are coming in. They're pretty much done in California and New York. And we got to talk about how in California, they're rejecting the woke ideology. We got to talk about the numbers in California and New York. But let's start in New York. Before we start, smash the like button. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Really important you guys smash the like button. Let's get right down to business because I was disappointed that New York got put through hell by the Democrats in the last 4 years, right? We got put through everything possible that was negative. But I thought that it was I was disappointed to see New York get called within seconds, like minutes, like 5 minutes after the polls closed, it was called for Harris. But I want you guys to take a look at how red New York is compared to 2020, right? Let's start here. So in 2020, if we go to New York, Biden won New York 60%. 5 million votes in New York, by the way. I'm going to show you something crazy right now. Just bear with me here. 5.2 million votes to Trump's 3.2 million. Now watch, and I told you guys in 2020, there's a lot of votes missing. There's a lot of things missing in New York. So New York was pretty much blue all the way down. Now let's go to the 2024 election. Ladies and gentlemen, Kamala Harris only got 4.3. So there's like a million plus votes that are missing in New York. Don't know what that's about. And Donald Trump got 3.4. So the difference here is only less than 900,000, 800,000, right? And look how red New York was. Look at this. Syracuse is blue. The main cities, Albany was blue, and everywhere else is red. Even some parts of the city they just became red. So we're going to talk about how New York is rejecting the woke ideology, the war on children and all these different things. I'm going to show you that, right? But before I do show you that, let me play this video of how Trump did in New York City. Take a listen.
President-elect Trump saw significant gains in nearly every New York City neighborhood on election night. And while Kamala Harris still won the state, could New York be facing a red wave in future elections?
Fox 5's Morgan Mackay joins us now to break down the numbers. Morgan.
Yeah, Steve, Natasha, these election results are like muddy tea leaves that both Democrats and Republicans are now trying to read. But look, at the end of the day, Vice President Kamala Harris still won New York. But if you look closer at some of these neighborhoods, they are trending red.
The national.
I wonder why these neighborhoods are trending red. I told you guys I was going to do a video on this after all the results are in. We knew Trump won the night of, right? Landslide victory, but we were really waiting on the final results. And I wonder why all of a sudden these areas are trending in the red direction, specifically in the Bronx, New York.
And state Democratic Party brand is in a dumpster right now.
Democratic State Senator James Skoufis represents a Hudson Valley district that has trended more purple. But although he won his re-election bid by a 15-point margin, Vice President Kamala Harris lost that district by about 10 percentage points. Skoufis says this should be a wake-up call for Democrats to focus on issues that impact the working class, like public safety and tax relief.
They see the Democratic Party disproportionately talking about issues that are quite frankly far out of the mainstream, like decriminalizing sex work.
President-elect Donald Trump received 43% of the statewide vote, the highest share for Republicans since 1988. He also picked up votes in New York City, making significant gains in.
Look at New York City. Look at the numbers in New York City. We're going to talk about California. We're also going to talk about Jersey. Jersey has become a swing state. We got to talk about New Jersey as well. Bro, Democrats are in huge trouble. I waited to talk about this for a reason. And boy, look at New York City as a whole. Look how it's trending.
Minority neighborhoods. For example, in 2020, Trump did not win a single election district in Corona, Elmhurst, East Elmhurst, or Jackson Heights. But this year, he won 6 election districts in those areas. State Republican Chairman Ed Cox says these are areas of opportunity for local Republicans.
And in Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx, we have a lot of growth opportunities. The Hispanics are coming our way. They are socially conservative.
Are you going to receive us? Right? I did my work, right? I didn't get paid to do this. I did by YouTube, but even though YouTube demonetized me a bunch of times, but I told you guys have to come and get us. Get us. Black people and Hispanics are trending in your direction, but what are you going to do about it? What the hell are you going to do about it? Right? Because Trump did his part. He came to the Bronx. But where the hell are you? Right? Ed Cox, come on. All these people, come to the Bronx. Keep coming. Let's keep making America. And let's keep, if you want us, we're here. We want change. I did my part. Right? We did our part by waking up half of the Bronx to at least trend that way. They didn't vote fully, but they trended that way for the first time in a long time. Right? So we're going to get to California now. But I just wanted you guys to see that. And by the way, look at what the hell are these numbers in 2020? Like, look at these numbers in 20. I'm still can't fathom what happened in 2020. Like, look at this. I just want you guys to see the 2020 numbers in New York are just absolutely ridiculously wild. And look, even New Jersey, right? Let's go to New Jersey. The New Jersey numbers, everything got very close. Like, all right, let's go to California. Now we go to Cali, the most interesting part of California. Anybody from California over here? Anybody grew up over there? Let's go to California real quick. So California, let me zoom out of this map here real quick. Let's zoom out and let's zoom back in. All right. Yo, what the hell happened in California in 2020, bro? What the hell was happening in California? So California, Biden got 11 million votes in California. I'm trying to zoom in here. For some reason, it won't let me. All right, here we go. Now we got it. So California, 11 million votes in California. Now let's go to California in 2024. Yo, this is crazy. I'm telling you, 2020 election was something you can't make up what happened in 2020. I don't even know what the hell happened in 2020. Let me refresh this page. That way you guys see. Let's go to California real quick. Right. So California, 7 million to 4 million. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just go to California real quick. I want you guys to pay close attention to this in California, because there's a lot of votes missing over there as well. 11 million, really? All right, here we go.
All remaining swing states. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. The race for president is now over. CNN, MSNBC, they can delay as long as they want, but Decision Desk HQ has called it. Also, major change coming to California as the votes continue to be counted in the Golden State. It's becoming clear, though, that voters have rejected Gavin Newsom and their uber progressive government, ousting the radical district attorneys that were put in there years ago by the Soros family, and substantial victories across the state for Republicans. Also, just one day after being elected, Donald Trump is getting down to business, already announcing his first cabinet picks, reportedly making steps to end the Ukraine war, and already solving the invasion at our southern border. Wait till you hear about this. And Democrats and the establishment Republicans are losing their freaking minds. We have the details and more stories from around the country. But before we get started, thank you to electoral votes for Donald Trump to Harris's 226. And look at the popular vote now. Look at the split since yesterday. Trump won by more than 5 million votes. What this means is Donald Trump is the most popular president and politician we've seen in modern political history, at least since Reagan. And if we zoom in on the blue bastion of California, something you're not hearing much about is the epic spanking that California Governor Gavin Newsom received on Tuesday night. So, look, I'll be honest right off the bat, I have a soft spot for California. I have a bias. I've spent a lot of time in California, living in NorCal for a while, in Humboldt County, Del Norte County, some of the most amazing country you'll see, wild country up there in Northern California. I personally love it. The Lost Coast, the Redwoods, Sierra Nevadas, national forest after national forest. If you like that kind of thing, that's the place for you. It's jaw-droppingly beautiful, but even with all of that beauty and all the benefits that go along with it, I mean, I still won't live there full time. I won't buy property there. I've wanted to, but I've resisted. California is the definition of big government run amok. It's awful. You know this. It's why people are fleeing the state, been fleeing the state. The government's sticking their nose into everything you do, treating you like a child, like they own you. You can't even buy flavored vapes there anymore or flavored Zins. Want coffee flavored Zins? Sorry. Drive 2 hours to the reservation. You want to buy these? You can't. It's insanity. Well, after years of this nonsense, the people of California appear to have had enough. Watch this.
Hear about this? Los Angeles has voted to oust far-left DA George Gascon, electing Nathan Hochman with 61% of the vote.
California also passed Prop
District attorney got replaced out in California, dude.
36, making shoplifting and theft a felony for repeat offenders and increasing penalties on drug charges.
Joining us right now is the winner, Los Angeles County District Attorney-elect Nathan Hochman. Nathan, America is glad you won.
Wow, so he won. Wow, look at this. Big stuff happening in California, dude. Holy moly. It's still very blue, but locally and DA-wise, you guys are doing your thing over there.
What is the message we get from your overwhelming election? We should get from it.
So the message is that the voters of LA County rejected extreme pro-criminal policies. That Gascon had, the current DA, Gascon, had brought in about 4 years ago, where he said that certain crimes and certain criminals will not be prosecuted, notwithstanding the facts of the law. I rejected those decarceration policies. I also rejected the mass incarceration policies. And I came down in the middle, and I called the hard work middle, because you got to do the work to make sure that each individual case is being considered individually.
Now, look, the votes are still being counted there. California, they take weeks to count the votes. It's a real problem, but we do know that Californians have voted yes on Prop 36, the proposition to end decriminalization for theft and drug crimes. You know how you've been able to just steal whatever you want under $1,000 and get away with it? Well, that is over, folks. 70% of Californians voted yes to end that nonsense. And think about that. Prop 36 was one of those policies that Kamala Harris refused to talk about on the campaign.
Yo, that is what caused her the election as well. There's a lot of things you could talk about that caused her the election, but bro, her not being answered, she wasn't able to answer whether she was California. You still have a lot of ways to go, California, because I'm looking at the votes coming in. She's still up by 2 million right now, which is still a huge difference, right? With 70% of the votes still in. Bro, there's a lot of people trending right in California compared to like 6-7 years ago, right? 8 years ago, even in 2016, if you look at the 2016 chart.
Trail, scared to take a position on it either way. Meanwhile, 70% of Californians supported it. A common sense policy. Who wouldn't?
How did you vote on Prop 36?
So my ballot is on its way to California, and I'm going to trust the system that it will arrive there. And I am not going to talk about the vote on that because honestly, it's the Sunday before the election, and I don't intend to create an endorsement one way or
you don't think that you don't think so? You don't think that would have helped you to tell people that you voted for it? That you voted for, helping out the state that you guys messed up by criminalizing a crime? You don't think that I'm telling you, this is stuff that did not help her. This is why Donald Trump, okay, I went to El Salvador for a reason. I wanted to see exactly what was going on in Central America. El Salvador was considered, it had like restrictions from the United States of America not to travel there. They were literally just lifted. Why? Does anybody know the president of El Salvador? Anybody know the president of El Salvador? You want to know why he's so successful and why El Salvador I was able to go there and not worry about anything? Because he said, I'm locking up all the fucking people doing the bad shit. He said, I'm locking up all the fucking gang members that are terrorizing the people of that's what he did. And guess what? The restrictions have been lifted. People go to El Salvador to vacation now. I went there, had one of the greatest times ever. Amazing. I was able to travel The people there were happy. So when you are running for president and you say, yo, I'm not going to lock up the people that are doing bad things. I'm going to excuse them. That's a problem, bro. Because a lot of us in the hood are trying to change. We really want change. Trust me, we do. A lot of us, we want opportunity. We want to change. But if you keep on making it easy for those people in the neighborhood to keep getting away, I'm telling you, it's one of the main reasons I believe she lost, is the people just are sick and tired of bro, California is beautiful. California is beautiful, but it's literally ruined. And a lot of these people claimed crime is down. How many times did you guys see these politicians like Pete Buttigieg, a whole bunch of different politicians from the left say that crime was down? They kept saying it. Crime is down. Crime is down. Don't believe right-wing media. But guess what? California voted 70% for this bill. So they don't believe that crime was down. Obviously, crime is not down.
Or another around it. So, but I did vote.
In another story, the Biden DOJ announced they are dropping all Trump's criminal charges, saying his cases are going away. They've begun to unwind them, telling NBC News yesterday they have begun the process of unwinding the 2 federal criminal cases against President-elect Trump before he takes office, to comply with the longstanding department policy that a sitting president can't be prosecuted. And good riddance. But if you think this ends all the witch hunts and illegal lawfare that we've witnessed, think again. Wouldn't it be nice, though, if it did? Well, in response to the DOJ saying this and the spanking that Trump just gave Kamala Harris, depressed Democrats are starting to lose their freaking minds. Jen Rubin, Washington Post reporter, wrote on X yesterday, the idea that we have to try to understand how or why Trump won to prepare to fight him is a category error. It is 1933, people. Hitler is now in power. No time for effing seminars on Democrats' messaging errors. And no, Jen Rubin isn't some liberal arts major at Berkeley or something. She's an actual reporter at the Washington Post, writing for the Washington Post on a daily basis, openly talking about fighting the president-elect, how he's Hitler.
Really? He's Hitler? You still don't know why Democrats lost this race? You still don't get it, do you? So I'm going to continue this video, but before I continue, somebody said this is going to be January 6th, 2025. Oh my God. This is going to be, look, these reporters losing their minds. This is what's going to happen. And I really, really hope it doesn't. I am not advocating for any violence. We don't want that in the United States of America. We just want to be happy. But this is what somebody made a meme. They said this is what January 6th, 2025 is going to look like. My bad, guys. Let's go back to the video. My bad, guys.
So how are they planning on fighting him? Well, their plan to use Congress is now out the window. Some of them are fleeing the country, right? Michael Cohen, remember that guy? Trump's former attorney and turncoat. Remember how he claimed he was going to revoke his citizenship? Well, look, he got roasted yesterday. I don't know if you saw that. It's actually pretty funny. When I saw the clip, I was laughing out loud. Take a look at this.
No problem. Wow, genius you are. Can we stop with that? I appreciate it. I don't like the stupid turkeys. All right, let's just knock that stupid shit off, please. All right. I did. I said I was leaving, and then the following day, get that through your dumb heads. The following day, I turned around and I said that there's no chance in the world that I'm leaving my country. Thank you very much. All right. I'm not leaving anyway. You leave. This is my country. And I have every right, every single right within which to turn around when we stop so we can. All right, 2 seconds. I'm going to end up blocking this idiot.
I had to play that one. When I saw it, I was laughing out loud. But seriously, how are they planning on fighting Trump now that they lost in Congress? Instead, they're turning to state AGs and governors to resist. The governors of all the largest blue states came out yesterday in scripted fashion announcing illegal aliens are safe in their states and that they won't let Trump.
Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to talk to you guys about. I told you guys things are gonna get crazy. We're gonna be covering all this stuff, but apparently Letitia James and California and these sanctuary cities, that socialist and a whole bunch of people that hate Trump, they're going to be protecting the. So we know that the mass deportations is something that Trump wants to do. I don't think that it's going to work because of this. That this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. They're going to be guarding them and they're going to be taking pictures. If ICE or federal agents get involved trying to deport people, that this is just going to be hell. All hell is going to break loose. And if there is ever a chance of civil chaos happening in this country or war civilly, this is how it would happen. It would happen by liberals standing in the way of people being told that they have to go back because they're here unvetted and illegally, right? That's the biggest downfall of this, that I believe I told you guys, there's just no way that they're going to allow it. If they have any fight left in them from the spanking that they got, it's the fact that all these liberals and socialists and all these that hate Trump, they're going to be standing in there. They're going to be fenced up. No, they can't go anywhere. They belong here. They're not going anywhere. And it's just going to be a big fight. And unfortunately, that's just the way I see things happening. Thank you guys for your donations and the way and everything you becoming members. I appreciate you guys.
Trump deport even one illegal migrant. Roll the tape.
If the Trump administration requests it, would the Massachusetts State Police assist in mass deportations?
No, absolutely not. But, let me say this. I do think it's important that we all recognize that there's going to be a lot of pressure on states and state officials. And I can assure you, we're going to work really hard to deliver. Some realities also need to be, noted. And that is, in 2016, we had a very different situation in the courts. And while I'm sure there may be litigation ahead, there's a lot of other ways that people are going to act and need to act for the sake of their states and their residents. There's regulatory authority and executive powers and the like. There's legislation also within our states. So I think that the key here is that every tool in the toolbox has got to be used to protect our citizens, to protect our residents, and protect our states, and certainly to hold the line on democracy and the rule of law.
Yeah, so they did the sanctuary city stuff, and they don't believe in illegal immigration. This is their plan, right? This is what a lot of people were talking about. And look, most of the country said that the border was a problem, but apparently not to them. And they're going to do everything in their power to protect it. So that's what's going to happen. This is what they're planning to do. Is that Trump is probably going to have to either call the National Guard or federal agents, right, where the state is no longer involved in these procedures to help mass deport, right? Which is, like I said, these are going to be the problems because the mainstream media is going to make a lot of money of making Trump seem like the most insane, unhuman, right? And unfortunately, this is just going to be a chaotic scene. So, yeah, imagine that, right? Imagine that. The most liberal people in this country, even though most of the country voted to secure the border and basically figure this stuff out, they're going to be the ones standing in the way of, they're going to be the ones protecting them. Mind you, whenever you try to send an illegal migrant over to their house, they don't take them. You ever seen the videos of people bringing in the illegal migrants that they love so much? Because I doubt they loved them. Bring them to the house. They don't even want them in the house. Told them to stay. Hey, can you lend a room? Nah, they don't want to lend the rooms. Because it's never been about illegal migrants. It's never been about the people that they helped get across the border. They knew that this would happen. In my opinion, they don't give a damn about these people. They never did. They were using them because they're the Democratic Party of 2024 and they're crazy. And they want to send them all over the United States of America so that way they can get away with what the hell they were trying to get away with. And I don't want to go too deep into details or get too conspiratorial on this channel because I don't want to get banned. But that's what they're trying to do. They're literally trying to blockade. All right, real quick. I did see a video. This is a video. A lot of you guys were sending me this video about states that require no ID to vote. Take a listen.
So every state that Kamala Harris won just so happens to have no voter ID requirement. Y'all are never beating the allegations.
He says y'all are never going to beat the allegations. Every state that Kamala Harris won did not require ID to vote.
As a basic principle, right? It gave me a chance to tie the Republicans running these seats, the incumbents, closer to Donald Trump, and remind everybody, if you're voting for these Republicans in New York, you are voting for someone who supports Donald Trump, and you're anti-woman, you're anti-abortion, and basically you're anti-American because you have just trashed American values and what our country is all about over and over.
Intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of Illinoisans. I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come for my people, you come through me.
We ultimately renounce the kind of bigotry, the kind of xenophobia that is front and center in discussions and debates like this. I thought the Attorney General was right about the Trump administration having issues with immigrants, but I think he could have been even more pointed, and forgive me, Mr. Attorney General, by saying he has a particular problem with brown people, not even immigrants.
Let it be known, Dems are nervous. They know they have limited options. Resorting to state power to fight Trump is like their last resort, and it's ironic since they constantly trash America's construction as a republic, saying we should wipe the slate clean and rebuild America as a true democracy. If America weren't a republic and Trump had won like this, these states would have no power at all to resist anything. And if you notice what everyone's making a huge stink about, it's immigration. Why are Dems so nervous about losing these 20 million illegal migrants? They just expended huge political capital to get them in here. They lost the election largely because of these immigration policies. They want to keep these 20 million people. They want to make them citizens as fast as possible. We know this. And what we're hearing is Trump's team already has their plan in place to fix this. No more Mr. Nice Guy placating both sides like he did last time. He is getting down to business. On Wednesday, Trump spoke to Mexico's new president when she called to congratulate him, and he reportedly told her it would go a long way with me if you can step in now and get these caravans to stop immediately. And she did. Mexico sent out the military yesterday, and they're already solving this problem. Watch.
Well, believe it or not, Grant, I said it before, on the day of the elections, massive caravan, 3,000 people started walking. And just as people knowing on the 6th of November, the migrants and everybody started noticing that Donald Trump just became president. The Mexican authorities started acting and started going to this large group, trying to decrease the large group from continuing to walk on the north of the state of Chiapas to go in direction to the northern borders of Mexico with the United States. Started telling them, the migrants, that you continue to walk, you can have an accident, possibly, you can dehydrate yourself, go back and do your process correctly. The migrants started, we started asking them, what are their thoughts of now Donald Trump winning the presidency and becoming the 47th president? They said that they are completely disappointed, that they were thinking that Kamala Harris was going to win. And now that it's going to be extremely difficult for them to enter the United States of America because they know that there's going to be a massive deportation.
All right, Oscar, let me get this straight. So Mexico now taking an active role in trying to discourage the caravans. This, to me, means that while Joe Biden was president and Kamala Harris, the borders are, they could have actively taken a role for the last 4 years and didn't. Is that a safe assessment?
Yes, it's a safe assessment. And I will tell you one thing that Donald Trump loves this word, and it is called tariff. This is the reason why the Mexican authorities have started acting. When he was president, he put a threat of a tariff of a 5% tariff in the automobile industry, avocado and beer. Now that he has taken power again, he said to he sent a message to the new Mexican president, said, if you continue with this, I will put 25% tariffs on everything that you're sending to the United States. So
Donald Trump has done more in his first 2 days as president-elect than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the border czar, had done in the last 4 years on this issue. And he's not stopping with immigration. He already did a lot of stuff. Take a look at this. Greg Price says Donald Trump has been the president-elect for not even 2 days. So far, Steve Madden announced halting manufacturing in China by half in a year. Hamas calls for an end to the war in the Middle East. Iran's backed Houthis just announced a ceasefire, and Putin said he's ready to work toward peace. Look, there is so much happening, folks. This is what it looks like, though, when you have real leadership at the top. Things actually can get done. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.
That was a great video by RJ. RJ Talks. Make sure to go follow him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about what's happening. What's happening in the Senate is just so crazy. Let me just get you guys, because we're gonna talk about this another time, but I told you guys, what the hell is Tim Scott doing? So we know that the three senators up for the majority Senate in the secret vote, we know that the voting has started, and Rick Scott is losing by a lot. John Cornyn and John Thune are beating Rick Scott. So apparently Tim Scott voted for John Thune. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. So there's a lot to talk about here. Lindsey Graham voted for John Cornyn. Let me actually go look at this real quick. Senate majority leader vote. Let's see what pops up here, so I can give you guys an update on what's going on. Even Josh Hawley voted for Rhino Cornyn for Senate majority leader. What the hell is going on in the Senate right now? I don't know, man. It's so disappointing, dude. I don't know. We'll talk more about it, but we have a lot of people showing their ass right now, specifically in Congress. So it's not looking good for Rick Scott right now, but we'll figure it out in the next video. Make sure to smash the like button. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you guys think about California, New York, the progress it has made. What can Republicans do to keep their promises and keep turning these states red? I'll see you guys on the next one.